Friends, today we are going to be practicing drawing different types of cakes using perspective and making them look three-dimensional even though they're two-dimensional. So we're going to be learning how to make different kinds, and this is going to be practice for our final project, and you're going to get to decide what kind of cake you'd like to make, how you want to decorate it, if you want to put it on a fancy cake stand or have a slice of cake next to it. It's completely up to you, but today's just going to be practice. So we're just going to be using a scrap piece of paper, or you could even use your whiteboard if you want. I might use a scrap piece of paper because then you'll have it to look at for next time, and then you can also practice coloring them in and it will be like a drawing. But if you want to use your whiteboard too, that's fine. We're going to learn how to draw just a regular cylinder cake. We're going to learn how to draw a stacked cylinder cake. We're going to learn how to draw a cake with a slice missing off to the side, a cake with a slice missing down the center. We're also going to learn how to draw a cake on a fancy stand, and also two different slices of cakes. And you can even put it on a little plate if you want. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these scrap pieces of paper that I have. I'm going to be drawing in marker just so that you can see it better, but I definitely would draw in pencil just so that you can erase. The first thing we are going to learn how to draw is just the regular cylinder cake. Okay, so that's one. If you want to put a little one on your paper, you can. For this one, it's very plain, especially because we're not going to have any decorations on it right now. But these cakes are fun because they have more surface area that you can decorate and have a good time decorating them. So I'm going to start with an oval for the top of my cake. For this, it's kind of like the soup cans that we drew. Remember, when we look at the top of a soup can, it looks like a circle, right? This is my Libby's pumpkin can. As we turn our can so that we're looking at the side, that circle turns to an oval. Guess what? We're doing the same thing for these cakes, making those cylinders. You guys have already made this shape. So now I'm going to draw two straight lines that go down on either side. 1, 2. And then a curved line that connects it. That is your basic cylinder shape. Now again, you can have fun with these, decorating them. You could add a little candle on them, add a little swirl. They can look really fun, even though they're just a simple cylinder, okay? Step 2 is going to be a stacked cylinder cake, okay? For this one, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to start with a small cylinder. So I'm going to start with a small oval. I'm going to draw 2 straight lines that go down the side, and then a curved line that connects it. Okay, now for this I'm going to use a pencil because I am going to have to erase. The next row, I'm going to make an oval that overlaps that's a little bit bigger because this cake is going to be sitting on a bigger cake. Okay, and see how I overlapped it? Now I'm going to end up erasing this out because we want our cake to look like it's sitting on top. Right now it looks kind of like a top hat. Then I'm going to make 2 straight lines that go down to the side, and a curved line that connects it. Now you could stop there and have a 2-layer cake, or we can do a third. And again, I'm just going to trace this just so you can see it better. Okay, and then you would erase this line up. Now for the third, we do the same thing, but this time it's going to be even bigger. Draw that oval, 2 straight lines that go down to the side, and a curved line that connects it. Remember that curved line is super important because we don't want it to be flat. Wanted to do some kind of wedding cake or some kind of cake for a big celebration, this would be the cake to do it. And then again, I'm going to erase that line out so it looks like it's sitting on top of one another. Okay? The next cake we are going to do is a cake with a slice missing off to the side. So this is number 3. Okay, again, I'm going to do this in pencil because we will be doing a lot of erasing. So I'm going to start with an oval. And I'm going to do 2 straight lines that go down the side. A curved line that connects it. Again, that's our basic cylinder. This time, I am going to put a dot in the center of my oval. Okay? Right in the center. Now I'm going to make 2 lines that go off to one side. It could be the left or the right. I'm going to do the right. So one line that angles out that way, another line that angles out. You want to make sure it's at an angle. When you get straight, your perspective gets a little funky, so make sure it's 2 lines that go out. It kind of looks like a clock that's been tilted on its side, right? So now from those 2 lines, we're going to draw straight lines that go down, okay? And then I'm going to erase these lines out because this is where the slice is missing. Now this part is important. A lot of people think that when they're making the bottom of the slice, it goes straight across. It does not. We have to make that bottom right here that connects the same angle as this top one. So what I do is I take my pencil, I go all the way down, and so that line at the bottom is going to be that angle right there. So I'm trying to copy that angle at the top. Because this space right here is where the slice is missing. This is going to be where our layers show. And so if you want a layered cake, those layers are going to be the same angle as well. That's really important. Again, I see a lot of students making those layers straight. It's important that you're doing an angle. Okay? And again, I will trace that just so you can see it better. And again, you can do the same thing off to the other side. It just would be going to the left instead of the right. What's fun about the layer showing is you can do some fun colors, different kinds of fillings on the inside. Have a lot of fun with that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to have our slice be down the center. Okay? So what that means is I'm going to draw, always start with that oval. Always start with that basic cylinder shape with 2 straight lines that go down to the side. Curved line that connects them. Now this time, because our slice is going to be in the middle, when we make our dot in the center here, I'm going to have 1 line that goes out to the left and 1 line that goes out to the right. Just like we did the slice here, you're going to make 2 straight lines that go straight down your cake. If you want to use a ruler for this, you can. You don't have to. And then just like the other cake, we're going to erase out this line because that's where our slice is missing. Now from this little point, on this little kind of carrot up, or that little triangle, I'm going to make a straight line that goes down. And then just like this line had to be angled, these have to be angled too. So the line at the bottom here is going to copy that little carrot up. So I'm going to make this line angled out this direction, this line angled out here. And guess what? When we do those layers, it's the same thing. Instead of making them straight, they have to follow the angle. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and that is a lot of layers on that cake, huh? Don't have to do quite so many layers. And that is going to be the slice missing in the center. Okay, so that's what that looks like here. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to be learning how to make a fancy stand underneath our cake. Okay, now you can also just do a plate underneath. You don't need the stand that goes here. And also make a slice of cake, because if you have a cake with a slice missing, you might want to do a slice of cake on a plate next to it. That's going to be up to you. Also, what I forgot to show you is we are going to learn how to draw a candle too. And a candle is just like the cylinders, okay, where you make a smaller oval, 2 straight lines that go down, so it's a really tall, skinny oval, right? Oops, that's a little wobbly candle, sorry about that. And then a curved line that connects it. And then at the top, you're going to draw the wick, and then the flame, okay? I apologize, my candle, I'll just make that a little shadow on the side there. And then you can also add, to make it look curved, add a little curved design on it if you want as well. So that's a really nice decoration to the tops of your cakes, a little candle. But let's make that fancy stand and those slices of cake. So for our fancy stand, I'm just going to draw a cake real quick just to put the fancy stand underneath. Again, just reviewing how to make a cylinder. And I'm going to do another one underneath it. Okay, so just like we would make a stacked cylinder cake, we are going to make another oval that goes around the bottom here, okay? We would erase out this line, and then I'm going to trace this oval underneath. Now again, that could be a plate. You could just have it as a plate that has your cake on it, or you can add a fancy stand where you make a curved line that goes out, curved line that goes out, and a curved line that connects it. Now there's so many different ways you can make a stand. You can make it taller and thinner, a fancier bottom on it. Really, it's truly up to you how you want to make that fancy stand. The next part is those slices of cakes. Now you can have a slice of cake that's sitting up or laying on its side, okay? For that one that's sitting up, we're going to make a straight line that goes across, angled line that goes over, and connects to make a triangle. From these 2 points, we're going to make 2 straight lines that go down and then connects. I always like to make little filling. I'm going to put a little cherry on top of your cake, you can. And now a cake on its side kind of looks like we're going to make a tent. So again, we're going to make a triangle that looks a little bit different. 2 straight lines that go over. Now, just like I said, we have to match those angled lines up. Guess what? We have to match that angled line up again. So here's that angled line. We're going to connect it here. And again, I'm going to make those layers. And instead, since now our cake is on its side, guess what? Our cherry is going to be on its side as well. And if you want, you can put a little plate underneath it also. And just to review that candle again, you make a small oval, 2 straight lines that go down to the side, a curved line that connects it, so it's a tall, skinny cylinder. And then at the top oval, I'm going to make the wick, and a little teardrop for the flame. And again, you can add some kind of pattern. If you're going to add a curved pattern, you want to make sure that you curve it with the candle to make it look round. So now that we have picked or learned how to draw all those different types of cakes, I want you to start thinking about what kind of cake you want to make for your final project and what kind of combination. I want you to decide what kind of cylinder. If you have a slice missing, do you want to add a slice of cake next to it? Do you want to put it on a fancy stand or a plate? Do you want to decorate it with candles or different kinds of icing? And decide what you want, what kind of event or what kind of cake you would like to make. So start thinking about that and planning. If you finish practicing early, you can color your practices and kind of plan out what colors you want to use for your cake, but you can also start to sketch out your design for your final cake.